No, sir. No, sir.
He's still working for Zach. He's a good dude. He knows how to play.
Yeah. Gray skirt, black
Rarely. But yeah.
Doesn't matter. You want to always agree. Yes, it doesn't matter. I do. Yeah, I know. Works out. I got a little friend that's going. We are. Yeah, we're trying. Don't say word about it. You should claim that. Christmas and I'm sorry.
You've been doing sounds.
I realized when I hold on to it.
It's on, brother. Same here, man. Yeah, he wanted that.
I really cleared it up. Probably one time. Yeah, I'll play this No way.
She's so much more.
My whole. My sister. It's crazy. Yeah, so Steve. So, 8 days.
I saw how.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I can
We are about to open the mic if anybody would like to speak.
Thank you, Ellen.
All right, so I'm gonna break the ice here a little bit, make it easier on the rest of the family, I hope, when it comes to Tom. I am Fred West, and I'm the third one. You guys are probably met the fourth one on Facebook and such. But, you know, Tom, let me tell you, there's something about big brothers that, even though Tom wasn't my big brother in almost every way possible, I did have 3 big brothers. I think the other 2 of them could probably raise their hand in this room right now. There's one right there. Where's my other one? Where's Chuck at?
Probably out being Chuck.
It's out being Chuck. So when you're young, big brothers do kind of crazy things. For example, one thing big brothers do is they will get those little poppers with the gunpowder in them and throw them at you and scare you. And then they'll tell you that you can get them back by making your own with dog feces in the backyard. And as crazy as that may sound to everyone in this room now, when you're 7 years old, you're going to do anything to get them back. And so we actually tried, and so they got us twice. They saw us in the basement trying to make those little poppers. But then when you get a little bit older, big brothers get a little bit cooler. What they do is they let you take your parents' dots in the back of the farm and let you drive around in little figure eights and tear out the mud with it. Of course, on a lap because you're only 10 or 11 years old, but that's something that big brothers do to make it so that your life is exceptional and you have these great memories. But my last big brother moment with Tom was also very special because when you become an adult, that's when big brothers really come to your rescue. You know, we moved from Virginia to Tennessee about 3 years ago, and we had a house all set up to basically move into, but unfortunately it fell through. Literally on the way when this big Penske truck, it's 35,000-pound Penske truck driving through Virginia. And I was telling my wife, who was in the car behind me because she had the rest of the clan in the van and I only had one of my sons with me in the Penske truck. I said, Claire, we're driving the truck, we don't have anywhere to go. And at that point, I think we still had 8 with us. I think we had 8 of our children still with us. So a family of 10 on your way to Tennessee, that's a little scary because you're like, okay, so we don't have anywhere to go. Now, we knew we were going to be able to fix that, just what we needed time and patience, but there was immediate need. And so we put out on Facebook, because God bless Facebook. I don't love everything about it. I'm sure there are other people in this room that would agree. I don't love everything about Facebook, but in times, especially with family, it really bails you out. So we reached out and told, the family, hey, we're headed to Tennessee right now. And we need help temporarily while we figure this out because the house just fell through. And Tommy called up, and if you know anything about Tommy, like, what's up? We just got this news that we don't have a place to go in Tennessee because it kind of fell through. Well, what do you need? All right. We're not sure right now, but I just need somewhere for Claire to sleep tonight, and the kids to go. And he goes, well, I got a big house. Now, I'll remind you all, I did have 8 children at the time. Now, 2 of them were in high school, and so it was actually only 6, but this is a man who had lived a single life for a couple years. who invited 6 children into his house with my wife. And I said, well, I think you're probably our best option because, Ohio being closer and, the situation being a little more comfortable for everybody. So my family moved into Tom's for a week. Now, some of you probably remember stories about my family living with Tom. It was very different for him. I didn't realize this. He did not eat vegetables. So
Does not.
So my wife,
Not a rabbit.
my wife,
Ranch, that's like 2 years.
out of respect for Tom and appreciation for Tom, volunteered to cook. Well, as a mother of 11, of course, she bakes vegetables, and so it was kind of weird to see a grown man go and literally throw the food away right in front of her. And she was, and she wanted to get offended by it. I mean, she's Italian, so you know how they feel about their food. It's like, oh, you just rejected me as a human being right now. But I had to explain, I said, no, listen. They tell you to get out. Well, no, he hadn't said that. And I said, you're fine. Tom will tell you to get out if it's a problem. He just won't eat the food. And so then the kids, evidently, they go explore, because that's what kids do. And they went down this lake, and I guess they found pieces of an old septic system. He was single. He didn't care about that stuff being in his yard. So they bring it back up to the house. And they're like, oh, look at this cool stuff we found. Little cylinder, kinds of things. And he goes, I really don't think that's a good idea, guys. Now, this is, again, how the band had changed over the years, because had it been me and my brother, he would have told us to wear it as a hat, probably, okay? But he had evolved. We had evolved, or he had evolved, and he said, I don't think it's a good idea. And not only are you going to put that back where you found it, but you're going to take a full bath shower outside before you get back in my house. And then for a couple nights, he played poker with them, and they would have just a great time. And every time they're trying to take a picture, he duck out, because that's just what he did too. And it really just changed everyone's perspective on what love is, right? Because this was a man who gave up everything in an instant when he found out family needed something. And so for my big brother that I didn't have at the time, again, it started out with him telling us to go to the backyard and make stuff, and then it evolved to me doing donuts in the backyard. But then, of course, it ended with this greatest demonstration of love, which is your family needs you, and I'm your family, so I'm there to help you. So I hope that makes it a little bit easier, since this is a celebration of life. It's a celebration of Tom. And if there's anyone else that hopefully I made it a little bit easier for you to tell a story like mine or not like mine, you can do so. Haley, you want to stick up and try to help you that, or you want to?
Anybody else want to go?
Let me go. First one, knock the Freds out.
Yeah, good.
I love you, friend.
Well, my first 3 sons were Mark, Tommy, and Chuck. And, I love them guys forever. I used to take Mark and Tom to school when they lived at Grandma Brown's house, and we had some good talks and good times. And Tom had such pretty eyes that I took him to my school one time, Live Oaks, trying to get a date with some of the girls in Secretarial, because they didn't think he's so cute. He kept on telling me, bring him back. I used him for that. I admit it. But I love those guys. I love Tom. And I'll miss it. I'll be here for each of them. And always will be. I love you. Y'all love me.
You're an alright guy. You got that first stop.
Oh, good. Talking about Tammy?
I was there.
You gotta change
Alright, I'll do it. I'm water working a lot though, everybody. I'm just gonna let it flow.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanna say thank you to everybody being here. There's a lot of love in this room, and I woke up, I don't know about you guys, but I had a real peaceful feeling about Tom today. Really peaceful. And it's evident in everybody's face right here, just like really influenced everybody here in some kind of wonderful way. Pissed a lot of us off, maybe disappointed us sometimes, but he always came correct. And he always was a real dude. And he never ever pretended to be somebody he wasn't, ever. And he always showed me unconditional love. Like even if he was disappointed in something I did, he would always take the time to ask me why, what the deal was, and he was always willing to learn something. Maybe take him a few days, like he would have to come back around. He hung up the phone to me last year because he didn't like something I said. But he knew what I said was out of love, and he thought about it, and he did the right thing, and he called me back and he said, hey, I just want you to know that I did the right thing, and thank you. Because that's the kind of guy he was. Cared about every single one of you, and like a lot of people aren't here. On an aside, like we had a lot of really fun times, and he did a lot of really cool stuff for me. Like he provided a lot for me, a lot of support and guidance. The first time I was married, I asked him to walk me down the aisle. When I was 14 and I wanted to go to Washington DC because it was so important for me to see, this country. He made sure I could go. He was 19 years old and just out of boot camp, but he made sure I could go. When I got my first car, he said, get out here, I need your help with something. And he had me lift the garage door open, which was very difficult. And there was the car with a bow on it. And then he made me change the oil with him, and then he wiped grease all over my face. And I had to shotgun a beer, let's be real. But my brother always made sure that I knew how to work for things and appreciate things, but he would make sure I had it too. And I just really love that. Thank you guys for being here.
Amen.
Thank you.
Look at you.
Somebody else go up there.
I am just,
Sorry, I'm stumbling all over myself. I didn't actually, prepare anything to say.
Never stopped you before, Chuck.
I can reiterate, everything that Fred said, I agree with all of that. I mean, Tom's heart was huge. That fucker.
Fucker.
When he said something to you, he meant it. It was sincere. It was honest, and you could trust it. Tom was one of my best friends in life. I have two brothers, Mark and Tom, and they are my brothers. Tom never failed at that for me. He never failed being my brother. When shit was hitting the fan, I'm sorry. I don't, it's how I talk, I'm sorry. When it was hitting the fan, I was there, man. And I can give you stories. I've given stories to his kids the past couple weeks, and I got plenty more. I got plenty more.
Tell the story about the trunk.
All right. All right. All right, this is one I've never told anybody. All right, I had difficulty with my family situation, which is fine now. We love each other. Things good. But I had a difficult situation where we were arguing, and I had a situation like Freddie was talking about where I need a little help. I needed a few weeks of just somewhere safe, a little safe haven. Just somewhere I could sit and just get my together. never hesitated. I mean, never hesitated. Like, yeah, my door's open, just open it. I might not be here, sleep on my couch. There you go. You know what I mean? I don't know if I need to attach a story to that, because it's more of a spirit and it's more of a heartfelt being of who you are, and he is that. He touched me in a way. He was one of my best friends for a long time. I repeat that. And I'm glad to be here to celebrate his life because the fucker was a good dude. And I love him very much, and I still do. And I would never stop loving him. My wife, even, she's not here. She loved him so much. They were like best buds. They talked like two bitches at a bridge game. I don't really know what to say right now, except to say that, my heart hurts a little bit because he's gone. But my heart feels really good because I knew who he was, who he is, and who he always will be. Anyway, I don't know what else to say.
That was beautiful. You fucker, that was nice.
Thank you. I love you, Tim.
It'd be hard to follow up, Chuck, but I don't think I'm gonna try.
There's no follow-up. There's no follow-up. It's just you be you.
I also wanted to thank everyone for being here, for Tom, and for his family. I've been friends with Casey since second grade. There's not a thing he wouldn't do for me, not a thing I wouldn't do for him. I think that comes down to the qualities Tom instilled in him, in me, and everyone. My family situation growing up wasn't always perfect. There were a lot of times it was probably easier than it should have been, and things weren't maybe given to me as straight as they should have been. But when I see Tom, he'd always shoot me straight. He'd always tell me how it is. He'd be real with me. I hold him in such high regard as a mentor, as a father, as a friend. I woke up this morning feeling the same thing. Just know that Tom is at peace, that we're at peace, and he lived a life, an exceptional life, one that everyone would be proud of, that I'm proud of. It's hard, but I know we're here for each other. I know we got each other's backs just like he had ours. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nick, by the way, I'm sorry.
Nick, I want to say thank you. Because you're at the extension, you just show how far our family reached like that.
And
You've
that's
always
the
been
thing.
a part of it. Thank you.
And I know there's so many people that aren't here right now that would love to be up church.
Yes.
Tom knew so many people and had an impact on so many people's lives. And
Thank you.
you're welcome.
You guys are good dudes. Oh, look at this.
And
fucker
you're my
coming up.
sister too. I mentioned brothers, but I was.
All right, Eddie.
I'm Eddie.
Hey.
Hey, Eddie.
I've known Tom, Mark, Chuck, 38 years. 38 years. I mean, we were inseparable for the good 10, 15 prime time. How we all made it through is amazing. The grace of God. And us three are here. I mean, really, just to be honest. I never had a male role model or anything. My brother, my real brother, despised Tom because I love Tom so much and talked about him. Tom just, he made me the man that I am today. he always taught me, you know, there's no knowing you, there's no can't, you know.
Yeah.
I had trouble, you know, family growing up and stuff, yada, yada, but, you know, unconditional love was always given to me from Tom. I could mess up so bad and he still would never get mad at me. It didn't matter what I did. I got true unconditional love from him for the 38 years. It didn't matter if we didn't see each other for 5 years, didn't talk this and that. As soon as we get back together, it's just like two peas in a pod or whatever, you know. I mean, brother, Westies and Eddie. Westies, I mean, that was it. Brown, I mean, John, I mean, we all had a lot of great times, you know. We were very blessed. You know, we didn't go without. You knew Tom, like you said, and everybody says, you didn't go without. You didn't know him nothing. You know, if you paid back or you paid him back, and it was a plus, he'd always tell me. He'd be like, if I lent somebody money and I got it back, well, that would just be a plus. I didn't expect it to come back. You know, and so many people here have said how much he's helped everybody, you know, and it wasn't, he didn't expect anything back, you know, he was just, you know. A lot of people didn't like him because he was so forward. Most people don't like to be honest. I mean, our society, you know, Tom was forward. He told you there was no beating around the bush and that's a good thing. That's what I respected and loved about him. And he instilled that in me. And, you know, now I'm a confident, good man. And I owe, you know, a good 80% of that to Tom, you know, and then 20 to God. A little tick for tack with that, but yeah, he was, without being blood, he was blood. John, Mark, it doesn't matter. You know, if they ever needed me, I would be there for them. They all did good, you know, we've all done good, and Tom did great. I mean, the Marines, and, you know, got married. I mean, he lived a full life, you know, he did everything. I didn't think I'd be able to come, you know. When I first woke up this morning, I was like, yeah, you did. You're gonna do this. And you're gonna get through it and be okay. Through the grace of God, because Tom would want me to. Edith. He was the only person that could call me Edith. Nobody in my life could call me a female's name. He would call me Edith all the time. And I'm like, Black Thomas. And I hear people call him Thomas. Edith. He hated that. Yeah, one of a kind, one of a kind. I mean, I know we're all uniquely different individuals, but a caring, loving, giving man, you know, that just sums up Tom West, you know. I would, you know, that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you, man.
Tom was an awesome role model. And he's the best brother you could ever have. And the one of the story I was talking about when he dove in the trunk, Chuck, after the military.
There's a picture up there that shows it.
Chuck's like, did I just commit a felony?
I know, I swear to God, I thought I did.
But one story, Tom was real, man. He was a real person. What he said, you know, you listened to him, you really did. I will treasure him forever in my heart. It'll never go away. And all of you too, all of our other brothers. You know, from the brother from another mother, is how we'd say. And you know, one story I think about is when, I don't know, he was probably about 5, 7 years old, and we're out in the backyard, Brown's backyard, hitting balls. And man, I cracked his head with a baseball bat. And
Sounds about right.
You can't tell on me, man, because I've had too many accidents. And my mom told me no more accidents. So I hit him in the tent, and we're like, oh man, it was really bleeding. We couldn't get it to stop. And he just really in there about a heart and a half. He had a big old knot on his head. I remember this like yesterday. And so I went and got him to Fred, and I said, Fred, you can't tell my mom. You told me to tell my mom because I'm in control. You did it, and she doesn't.
Just ran it out. Big grass looked after this.
Her eyebrows are raised, she's super mad now.
Well, she told me no.
You're grounded now, Mark.
Yeah,
You're grounded.
I heard this story last week.
Oh, is he grounded right now?
but I will never.
Next week.
My brother was real, man. He, when he said something, everybody listened. You know, I mean, you know, one story I remember about, him telling me, he says, you know, I was saying the F word or something like that or something, and he says, you know, man, they beat us down and built us up in the Marines and this and that. And our last day at the platoon, the guy said to me, the leader of the squad, or whatever they call it, I'm not in the military.
Squad leader, sorry.
Okay, that sounds good. And he said, you know, he told us all, he said, you guys got filthy mouths and stuff like that. And, you know, when you say these words out and you're trying to have a conversation, nothing against you, Chuck.
Oh,
But I try to live by it, and I cuss pretty bad. Don't make me. But, he said, you know, the lieutenant or wherever he was, something like that, he said, you know, he told us that when we cuss, it makes us look stupid, that we're not intelligent enough to say the correct word when you need to say that word. And Tom truly lived by that. I mean, he would be pissed and he wouldn't cuss. It just amazed me, you know, because I'll drop the F on, you know, when I'm mad, but role model. And I love Tom and I love all of you guys. And I will never, ever, he's just way too young, man. It's terrible. You know, we went into the hospital and I walked into the room and I says, all right, Tom, let's get the hell out of here. His arms flew up and his legs flipped and they went, chill in. And he's like, and Haley took me aside and she says, man, Mom, you gotta quit telling this stuff. He hears you. And he can't do it. You know, and I'm gonna tell a story that only Julie and I knew about. It was the day he passed away. We went to we're going to the hospital. And I said, man, I can't believe they're gonna effing starve my brother to death. Because, you know, he's my brother, man. He's tough. And she says, well, maybe that's not what's going on. I said, well, he's gonna go to hospice and they're gonna starve to death because you don't feed him. And his daughter Haley's ready to give him a third of the liver, and I'm ready to give him a kidney, and then he's out of there, you know? And I had to apologize for saying that later to Julie, my wife. I had to, you know, I was wrong because we were at the hospital. I mean, we were literally had just gotten there. It was like 9:30. Haley had been by his side the entire time. I mean, the entire time. And Casey went to the house to feed Tom's dog, Dixie. And just out of the blue sky, Haley says, hey, Mark, can you come over with my dad? I need to take a walk. I need to go downstairs for a second. And I said, sure. So I walked over and Haley walked out. I said, Tom, it's you and me, brother. And then he quit breathing right there. He waited for her to not be there. Just, I knew he'd hear me. He knew it was time to go. He didn't want to die in front of his daughter. But I called you quitting, didn't I, Haley? He's not ready to get up here.
I'm ready.
I love you all and thank you all for being here.
So, I think that's good. I think so too.
Me too.
Everybody feel good?
I don't wanna get up there, but I will say one thing. When I stayed with Tam for that little bit, I definitely earned a lot of money by finding Tom every time he said GD. So he did.
I was gonna say the same thing because he pointed me
$1, I made
I was like,
put
oh,
in a
dude,
jar
that's like,
every
damn,
time
say
he
what-
said GD, because I said, every time you say it, you really need them. You don't need to be saying that.
Well, the thing is, Mark,
And he gave me a
Not in
dollar
the heat of
every
battle.
time, and I
Out
am
of
like,
respect of not in the heat of battle.
and he wanted to show you his older brother that very shining best part of himself, always, and he did that.
He did.
Because he cared about
So
you
Chuck-
and your respect.
So Chuck, tell them about the story about him jumping in your trunk.
All right, last story.
This is
Last
too
story.
funny.
Okay, there is a picture up here that will come by, I don't know when. That's a great picture, by the way. Let's turn him up around.
I'm right.
That's Uncle Fred. That's Tom. He was young, full of you know what. True story. 1994-ish, 5-ish, around that time.
Use the mic here on YouTube. Just trying to, should come.
So I think it was 1994, 1995. I can't remember what the year was, but I lived in Virginia Beach, and I worked as a subcontractor for the military, and Tom was, of course, a Marine. He's actually in the military, and every weekend I would go pick him up, and we hang out. So I go to pull up to one day at the barracks. I pull up to the barracks. I pull up the outside of the barracks, and all of a sudden I look outside, and here comes Tom. I mean, hauling butt. And he says to me, he says, open the trunk, 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 open the trunk. I'm like, okay. So I jump out, open the trunk, pop, boom, head first. Dives in like an Olympic gold swimmer. Boom, into the trunk. Drive. So I drive and I go to the bar. Anyway, so I go, we pull over and I open the trunk. I said, what in the world was going on? He says, my friend, they was having weekend call duty. They was asking for volunteers. No way. And as a Marine, you can't leave the base in your cams. You can be Air Force, Army, whatever. You can leave in your cams. But as a Marine, you're a Marine or you're a civilian. There's no, so that picture you see of him barefooted next to me is because he didn't have no boots when he dove into the trunk of the car. But that's it. You know what though? I'm gonna finish with this because I don't know really how to end the story. But those of you that know him, you know his heart, right?
Mhm.
I mean, those of you that know him in this room know his heart, right? I think that was hilarious. I think that was Tom through and through, man. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to hurt nobody. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to screw the Marines. You know what I mean? He just couldn't change his clothes in time. You know? One of the best moments of my life. There's actually 2 or 3 more pictures that'll revolve. That's it. That's us. Look at him wearing this little crap clothes that I gave him. But I will, if it's okay, I would. I'm sorry, I'm stuck in a little bit. It's very rare that I take a moment to think of other people on this planet. I'm very selfish in that matter. I think about my own circle and those that are in my inner circle, and those are the ones I think of. Tom's one of the few that I love very much. That's not in that inner circle, you know what I'm talking about? That one that you wake up at 8 a.m. and you know until 5 p.m. That inner circle, not inner circle of family. Yeah, family. Thank you, whoever said that.
We love each
I
other.
would never, I love you back, Mark. And I would never forget this young man. Never. I don't give a crap that I had to drive up here today. You know, I woke up this morning glad just to, you know, just, he would do it for me. He would do it for me. And I'm not really sure how to stop talking.
I have a good story, I'll finish up for you. Word of advice from Tom, if you're in a
Thank you.
situation, you're at work, and you don't want this like slew of managers or anybody to bother you, all you do is like grab a clipboard or some busy piece of paper and like look up at the ceiling. And those managers will not bother you because they don't want to know what your problem is.
Should I do that now?
They
Should I
don't
do
want to
that
feel
now?
any paper.
That should be my thing? Yes, in the back. You have a question.
Yes, I'm sorry I'm late, I just got here, I was stuck in traffic. but I have a story about Tom. My name's Donna Morgan, and we used to work together at P&G. And I wasn't in the room when this happened, but I came by shortly thereafter. There was a small group, a room where there was 5 or 6 of us located, and subject came about twerking or whatever. So Tom
I actually
apparently
have video
started
of it.
twerking, and his pants split all over. Of course, he was going commando, so everyone there saw everything.
And he was wearing jeans.
He was wearing jeans.
Oh, that's right,
It was in
because
his
he bought the
contract.
company.
It's in his contract with P&G that you
Yeah,
have to wear
and
jeans.
he had borrowed somebody's twerk and wrapped it around him.
Serves him right, twerking.
Serves him right.
Yeah, that's
good.
That's what twerking is right.
That's how Mr. West did it. Went on the list.
I just wanna say to everybody that this military, honors was very extremely important to Tom. He was so proud of being a Marine.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And it's supposed to take place at 5 until.
So are we
I
outside?
was too, Mark. I was too, Mark. I mean,
I thought they were shooting guns.
at that time, I was proud of Tom as well, because he and I were gonna go together, and he did it. He did it. He took the balls and grabbed them and said, "Let's go." I'm very proud of him for that. He was always that guy. Wait back here.
The military honors was extremely important to Tom. He told me, I wanna be cremated and I want 21 gun salute.
Let's do it.
Cause he's still there,
Marines.
taking the back now. He had rescued
We're the
him 3
Marines.
times. He said, if I have to go in here and
Was
rescue
there?
you one more time, I'm
We're
not
there.
coming back for you, sir.
You got it, Casey.
So Haley, are we allowed to go outside and watch this?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think we're gonna go outside. Oh my God.
We're downtown.
Okay, they're coming. Let's have a seat.
Just wanted to say.
Oh, no, that's okay. Oh, no, that's okay.
I'm not shoving you to it.
We have a seat right here.
Yeah, there, yeah.
That's all. How you doing? That's all you got? You got it?
Yes.
Thank you. Like I'm not. And that's really, everyone knows about this.
But keep that.
I told them, I said, you know what?
Dave, so you're gonna switch? Thanks for having me. This one, every FaceTime Nice seeing you guys.
I didn't realize they were waiting on us.
Kelly's still in Arizona. I just had 2 people in the restroom.
Already too late.
Kelly and Chelsea.
And up, forward, march. Right base. We, the members of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States and the American Legion, are here assembled to pay our last respect to our departed comrade. When the call of our country was heard, Tom answered. Self was forgotten for the cause of the greater good. As a brave man, he marched away with an abiding faith in his God, his country, and his flag. The red of our nation's flag was made redder by his heroism. The white more stainlessly pure by the motives that compelled him. And in the starry field of our nation's banner, the blue has been glorified by the service he gave for American ideals. Comrades, let us so live that when the keeper of the eternal record shall have called our names for the last time, those we may have leave behind may say of us, as we now say of John West, United States Marine Corps, Desert Storm. Here lies all that is mortal of a true-hearted comrade and a fearless defender of his country and his flag. Officers, you will now perform the last duties of your station. Junior Vice Commander.
On behalf of the Southwest Ohio VFW Memorial Team, we present a green tribute as a symbol of our undying love for our comrade. Farewell, Marine.
Senior Vice Commander.
We place this flower as a symbol of purity upon the remains, and may each future generation emulate the unselfish devotion to duty, even to the last of our comrades. Farewell, Marine.
Officer of the Day.
We place this last token of affection from his comrades in arms upon the remains of our departed comrade and crown his mortal. Farewell, Marine. Comrade Chaplain.
The march of our comrade is over, and he lieth down in the house appointed for all the living. We are reminded here of the frailty of human life and the tenure by which we hold our own. In such an hour we think not, the final summons may come which no one disobeys. Tom is in the hands of our Heavenly Father. He shall be laid to rest, and his virtue shall live on to inspire the hearts of all of our comrades. God's peace be with you, my Marine brother, until we meet again. May his blessings and his benedictions be with you and with all of our comrades wherever dispersed the world over. Amen.
Amen. Senior Vice Commander, will you please retrieve the flowers? Ladies and gentlemen, I am about to give the order to fire weapons. It will be very loud. It is requested that during the firing of the rifles and the sounding of taps, that everyone who is able remain silent and standing. Additionally, any honorably discharged veterans in attendance are invited to render a hand salute upon my command of Honor Guard, present arms. It is appropriate for all others to place their right hand over their heart. Officer of the day, take charge of the rifle team and carry out the plan of the day. Honor Guard, present arms. arms.
On behalf of the President of the United States of Report, and a grateful nation, please accept this flag as a symbol of our appreciation for your father's honorable and faithful service. Robert.
You may be seated. Senior Vice Commander.
It's my greatest honor to introduce the certificate of remembrance from the Southwest Ohio VFW Memorial Team. The flowers that were used in the service today. Dishes, and God bless you.
Officer of the Day.
Sir, I said to you, my greatest honor to offer some of the shells was far tonight as far as may God bless you and your family.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our final military salute to Tom. It has been an honor for us to stand here in front of you. Honor guard, right face. Forward march.
And on behalf of Tom's entire family, I'd like to thank all of you for being here today and for sharing with them. Special thank you to the gentlemen from the United States Marine Corps and the Southwest Memorial Team. This does conclude our services here today, so at this time you are dismissed to your cars at your leisure. Thank you.